Today, I would like to talk about 10 secrets that narcissists hide from you. As usual with these types of lists, I will put the timestamps in the description below. As we all know, narcissists tend to be very sneaky and secretive about their lives and who they truly are as a person. Even if you think you got to know their true self and every layer of the narcissist in your life, you will never get the full picture of who they really are and what they are really doing. And truth be told, if we knew all of that, I think it would be impossible to heal from that relationship. So today I would like to make you aware of a few things that narcissists may be hiding in an intimate relationship with you. I hope it won't be triggering to hear all of that, but help you to connect the dots and answer any open question marks you may still have. I found myself still connecting some of these dots years later after the end of my relationship with a malignant narcissist. Sometimes it takes time, because there's a lot to untangle, and on top of all of that trauma and confusion they create, these manipulators often speak in cryptic language or only drop little hints here and there that had kept us guessing throughout our entire relationship. It's one of their favorite ways to occupy and play with your mind. They literally get a thrill out of it. You may want to check out one of my previous podcasts called Narcissists Tell on Themselves that I will link in the description below. Because believe it or not, they can be sneaky and secretive all they want. They do tell on themselves. You just need to be aware of the red flags and listen very closely to them. So quite obviously, the first thing they hide from you is their true, abusive, and insecure self. When victims interact with a narcissist for the first time, they tend to mirror their targets, their positive traits, habits, likes, dreams, goals, hopes, and desires. You will think you've found a perfect match or a soulmate even. They act over the top in love with you, but don't really care or love you due to their own disconnection within themselves. Underneath this facade hides a highly insecure and shameful individual who doesn't even know or even tends to run away from themselves. As the word narcissistic personality disorder suggests, they're disordered in their personality. They cannot be pinned down to one personality type and therefore often appear chameleon-like in our society. At this point, I always like to refer to the Myers-Briggs personality types, or MBTI. There are 16 different personality types out there. Narcissists change and adjust to whatever situation or person they get involved with the only goal to obtain narcissistic supply. They are masters at faking empathy for a little while, until that facade crumbles because they cannot keep up their false self forever. But why would they even care if their true self comes out behind closed doors, if it's your suffering that truly makes them happy? Point number 2. Narcissists tend to hide their past relationships or dating history. That way they can compartmentalize their exes and keep their options open, if their former partner hasn't closed their door on them already. Of course, in cases where the narcissist has children with an ex or other common obligations, maybe a business, this may not be possible. But they may pull the crazy card on them to keep you separated, so that you won't reach out to the ex and ask about the narcissist. That way they can keep their false self or power and control over you intact. This being said, not all narcissists hide their past relationships or dating history. Many also take it as a means to triangulate and torture you, to create drama and entertainment for themselves while multiple people are pining for them, or simply to brag how desired they are and set you up for competition. Whether their former supply knows about it or not, it will only make you work harder. It's like every former supply is presented like a trophy in their collection, and you need to live up to their standards, whether it's true or not. And speaking of their dating history, they may hide other parts of their history from you, such as their real name, their family of origin and upbringing, or past abuse, whether it was inflicted on them or they inflicted it on others. They may fake their credentials, education, and resume, especially in an effort to compete with you or to appear much more desirable. Or they may hide the true reasons why they lost their jobs in the past. Many of them are also criminals. They may keep their criminal history or ongoing crimes a secret from you until you're being confronted with the consequences. This includes their accomplices or friends you won't get to meet. If you ever hear them talk about their enemies, pay close attention as to what they have to say about them. Narcissists always have enemies. They will usually play the victim in that story, and quite often, their alleged enemies couldn't even care less about the narcissist, as they have moved on a long time ago. But if they have true criminal energy, you will find yourself in a very dangerous situation with them. Just look at all the targeted murders and shootings that have been in the news lately. They happen for a reason. Trust and believe there were some shady narcissists or psychopaths involved in these incidents. Moving on to number 4 on my list. They will hide their double lives. You won't believe all the dirty stuff narcissists do in the underground. And by underground, I mean hanging out in sex forums, or they are a member of a secret club, doing illegal stuff pertaining to sexual business or relationships with others. Many of them like to have jobs that allow them to be away from home and travel for a while, so they always find an excuse to hide their sexual adventures. Check out my podcast, You Will Never Get the Bigger Picture from a Narcissist. They may hide another job they feel embarrassed about, or, like I said before, all of their criminal business. Usually, their double lives consist of having an affair with somebody else or multiple other people even, especially if they still have their dating profile open or are very active on social media. Social media literally enables their shady behavior nowadays with hidden or encrypted messaging. I can see the benefits in that type of messaging when it comes to abuse victims and if they need to talk to someone when they are in danger. But I'm convinced it was primarily developed for dating purposes and to cheat. At times they simply hide their cell phones completely from you or get a second phone that you don't know of, which allows them to manage their double lives with ease. Some narcissists are so conniving, they can have a full relationship with you while being in another relationship with somebody else. Or some are still married with children. When this is happening, you will most likely never meet their immediate family members or friends because they know the other person. Narcissists are very skilled in compartmentalizing people, or their supply much rather, so you will never know of each other. I will link another podcast down below giving you 15 signs that a narcissist is cheating on you. Next, they may hide their children from you. If the children are old enough, this could be due to the fact because they've seen through the narcissist and they don't want you to find out. And the other reason usually is they hide that they've been cheating on you. Remember how Arnold Schwarzenegger was able to hide his son he had with his housekeeper for over 10 years to save his reputation? Now, I don't think that Schwarzenegger is a narcissist, but that's just one good example of how it would play out with one of them. They may also lie to you in the beginning by mirroring your expectations when it comes to having children. If you want children later down the road, they will tell you they want children too. If you don't, well, then they don't. In the course of your relationship, this may lead to a lot of arguments, because you're not on the same page about raising a family together. Some narcissists may even hide their infertility, only to keep you stuck trying. And of course, vice versa, to unexpectedly get you pregnant. Point number 6, they may be hiding money from you. Why? Because they're selfish, and rest assured, they want your money too. Most narcissists are terrible when it comes to their finances, let alone saving any money. They have incurred a lot of debts throughout their lives, usually wasted on pointless or inappropriate things like their addictions or whatever else gives them instant gratification. They aren't good long-term investors, just like they don't tend to fully invest in a relationship with you. And those cheating narcissists? They often also have a huge amount of cash in their pockets, so you won't be able to trace their spendings on your joint bank account statements. And speaking of their addictions, that is exactly my next point. Many of them are addicted to sex, porn, drugs, or alcohol, and so many other things they won't tell you about. In some cases, narcissists may coerce you into dangerous sex practices by telling you they've done it before when they actually haven't. They have just never found the right victim lowering his or her boundaries enough to do so. Or they turn you into a drug or alcohol addict, and you end up in rehab or 6 feet under even. And what's that going to do to your credibility? And speaking of their sex addiction, many narcissists will also hide their true sexual orientation from you and cheat on you with the opposite sex. But there might be hints. Many of these closeted cases may act utterly homophobic in front of you or others. Or try some new kinky stuff in the bedroom, for instance, that may make you feel uncomfortable. At this point, I also like to share a personal anecdote of mine. So one day my ex-narcissist and I went to a shopping mall, and we went into one of those stores where they display the t-shirts on the wall with these funny sayings on them. My boyfriend at the time looked up to one of these shirts and read it out loud. Then I did the same. I looked up and read the first t-shirt that had caught my eyes. And it said, "I'm not gay, but $20 are $20. I thought of nothing and shrugged it off, and then we moved on. We went on exploring the mall for quite some time and also went to a bookstore further across the street where we also ate for lunch. So you can imagine that quite a few hours had passed. And quite frankly, it was a wonderful, sunny, and peaceful day. But after we had returned to my apartment, which was another 30 minutes away at least, he yelled at me out of a sudden. "Why do you think I'm gay?" I said, "What?" And he kept yelling, "Oh, when we were at the mall and you read that t-shirt, you were making fun of me." I said, "What are you talking about? I was just reading what was written on that stupid shirt. You're still dwelling on this? Seriously, this had been hours ago at the very beginning of our trip. And you should have seen the shock in his face when he literally exposed himself to me. He wouldn't directly tell me that he was gay, but over time his homophobic attitude and certain remarks that he was making on top of that moment taught me everything I needed to know for sure." So in this context, and cheating in general, they may also hide dangerous diseases from you, especially when it comes to STDs or even HIV. One of the things I want to suggest to you is to get professional help immediately once you have realized you've been involved with a narcissist. Do a health checkup and get an HIV test. This isn't something you should neglect at all costs, even if it's scary. They prefer unprotected sex for pleasure more than being safe. They are reckless and selfish that way. Trust me, you do not want to live with the fear of the unknown. And last but not least, what are they going to hide? You. You're most likely not their first rodeo. They know exactly how their relationships are going to play out, and it's one way to keep you isolated from their own support system. They're flying monkeys and enablers. That's why they won't introduce you to certain people like their friends, family, or coworkers. They won't update their status on social media and perhaps even still promote themselves as single online. They won't post or share anything publicly that would indicate they are in a relationship with you, or the other people who came before or after you. They won't allow you to tag them or even hide your comments on their profile too. In this day and age, they are very smart and meticulous in managing their supply on the internet they can pick and choose from at any time and as they please. How is the life of a narcissist not exhausting, given how much they need to pay attention to keep their world of lies and compartmentalization intact? No wonder narcissists are paranoid and hypervigilant at all times. I won't pity them though, because as most of us know, in the end, they are only going to hurt themselves. So yeah, these are 10 secrets narcissists tend to hide from you and others. If you're interested, please check the description below for more podcasts relating to this one, and like, share, and subscribe so that more survivors have a chance to find them. Thank you very much for listening. Stay safe and have a great day.